got a bullshit paper hanger. That's just how it is. But I mean, I'm one of I'm one of the guys that can hang Gracie paper, and if it fucks up, they'll replace it because they trust me.
Well, that's good.
Is our settings set, Chris?
I haven't gotten in there yet.
Oh, okay.
Well, I can see myself.
Well, that was the thing. We could all see ourselves. We just couldn't see anybody else. But we do have a fix to it. Get in here.
Arg. Yo ho ho and a bottle of rum. Can I shoot somebody?
Man, anytime that you want to space one of those, I guess we're already kind of landed, which kind of fucked it up. But I mean, anytime that you wanted to fucking space one of those stewards, we had lots of them. They're not worth anything. You know, if you wanted to try your hand at being a medic, hey, try to blend some people together. Just some surgery experience. They only complain for the first few minutes.
No, for about the first 40 seconds.
Yeah. Then the pain gets so much. Yeah.
They gotta hold their mouth real wide to get all that air out.
Yeah.
Can you see me, Chris?
I can. Hey, that's a sexy looking shirt.
Yeah, it's got a nuclear cloud right here.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you got it. Cool.
And it's got eyes and nose and mouth. That's just what happens when we nuke them.
I keep meaning to order one, but anytime I do anything digitally, I have to move from cash to digital format cash. I'm a cash guy.
Yeah.
I like cash. You can't hack my pocket. You got to rob me face to face.
I had to pay.
Do you have a big enough pistol?
I had to pay for something the other day. I think we were at this was a couple of weeks ago, but we were out somewhere like a festival or something, and they only took cash. And as I was handing them cash, I'm like, I can't remember the last time that I used anything other than my Cash App card or my debit card. And
Wow.
then there was something on Facebook about, oh my God, the new generation that's coming up. Did you know that most of them don't even know how to write a check? I'm like, who the fuck writes checks anymore? Everything I do is online pay, like.
Well, actually, I have to write one a month. I have a neighbor who does my yard, and he wants a check.
How weird.
He is 75.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
I mean, I get checks all the time, but when I totally take over everything, I'll probably take Cash App and stuff like that, but I'm just going to turn it into cash.
Right.
I mean, until they tell me I can't have cash anymore.
Cash App is great. I mean, the fees are not exorbitant. Unlike, PayPal has its fingers in a lot of pies, and it makes life really easy. But their fees are exorbitant. And not only that, but PayPal double dips, which pisses me off. So, for instance, let's say that I get a royalty payment from DriveThruRPG.
Right.
When that money gets transferred from DriveThruRPG to my PayPal account, PayPal automatically, before you can even say yes or no, takes at least $1, at least, out of that payment. Then, when I transfer it from my PayPal account to my bank account, they take another fucking 25 cents.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm like, you thieving shits.
I mean, what I like about the PayPal is
welcome to greed.
My son pays rent through PayPal and to me, but Cash App, I'm sorry, and I can take that and I can transfer it to my bank, and it'll show up in the bank faster than if I go to the bank and give them money.
Right.
And yeah, it's faster than the fucking bank on that. So That's pretty impressive.
Well, and I mean, it's not like PayPal's the only one. Drive-through RPG pulls some shit too. Like, so when you publish something on there, if you're not verified, it takes 30 days for funds that have hit if this is assuming that you're not publishing your own stuff, you're actually publishing through like the TAS for Traveler or DM's Guild or whatever. You have to wait 30 days in order for any of that cash to be available to you. And I'm like, why? It is federal law, at least in the United States, and pretty much any money that comes into a bank in the United States, that electronic funds are available immediately. And this all came about, and I don't know if you guys, I'm sure Glenn remembers this, but when debit cards first started, when they first went over from, having a manual carbon paper credit and debit card system to electronic things, you'd use your debit card and then it wouldn't hit your bank account for like 3 or 4 days. And
I remember that.
And so people were constantly overdrafting their accounts. And so finally it happened to the wrong person. I think it was like a congressman or senator or something like that. Anyways, they pissed off the wrong person and the funds weren't in his account, and you know what? There was a stop put to that. All of a sudden, and the banks bitched and whined and cried. Why? Because they weren't going to be able to charge you overdraft fees, and that was their cash cow. Still is their cash cow.
Well, but the reason drive-through wants to hold your money a month, it's interest.
Right.
If I keep a floating $100,000, say, just always kind of in the bank account, I'm getting that interest.
Well, so, and the thing that one of the excuses that I've actually heard, and this was way back, was that, oh, well, because of the 30 days same as cash thing. Okay, well, that doesn't hold up in water because you can't return a fucking digital PDF. I mean, what are they going to... Okay, I deleted it from my hard drive. Whatever. I mean...
I guess it's one of those things where if you just stay constant and keep putting your shit out there, then I guess after the first 30 days, then you have regular income from it.
Well, and that's kind of and that holds true for anything. So with that's true with drive-through, you have to keep pushing stuff if you want a regular income, and you got to push a lot of it, and so that's why. I mean, it is what it is. Just any bookstore, not all of it is going to be Pulitzer Prize-winning stuff. I mean, even a lot of the stuff, some of the stuff that I put out ain't that great. I mean, whatever.
But there was I saw a guy review your BTH batshit crazy thing. He really reviewed it kind of cool. He had like this. I forgot the guy's name, but he had like a background like he was on a scout. And he wore a little helmet.
Yep, that's Seth Korkowski.
Yeah. Yep. So I saw he reviewed your shit, know, and I agreed with a lot of the stuff he said. I had fun playing it though. I don't give a shit what we play. I mean, we can go to microscopic levels and just, live in a bathroom and hunt fleas with soap cannons. I don't give a shit.
But so the other thing about
get the cat away from my food.
The other thing about publishing like that with drive-through is that the reality is that so you release something and it's new and you get a clamor of all these people that are going to buy it. Well, that eventually tapers off. All the people that were going to buy it have bought it and they have it. And so then you have to release something else. Especially if you're doing a line. So release the next book in the line. And those people will want to usually purchase that book. Then you'll get a few new people that will see that second book and not have heard of the first book.
Right.
And so then you get a push of people that start purchasing the original book, and it's just this cycle that you just have to continually keep releasing new stuff. In order to get new people to purchase the old stuff, it's a never-ending cycle.
I can believe that.
Yo ho, Captain Beth.
Hello, Kevin. Hello, Cameron. Hello, Devin.
Evening.
So I do believe I've got the camera settings set up on this one.
Seems to be working great to me.
I can see y'all.
Yeah.
That's a vast improvement.
Well, I got my 36 dice. Is that enough?
Oh, probably. I just use this little dice one, the built-in roller, but that's just, to me, it's easy. I'm really lucky, and I know that like if I would have been rolling out of sight on Saturday, or no, it was last Friday, where I couldn't roll less than an 11. I mean, I mean, I was fucking it up, man. And if I hadn't have been rolling that in everybody's face, in the back of people's minds, people would think I was cheating. And I'm just saying, I was rolling that good. But when you roll in people's face, no one ever doubts shit.
That's
they
true.
See it.
That's true. That's true.
So, I mean, that's just me because, one, I'm a lucky motherfucker, and I'm going to roll good. I'm going to get streaky. And I've always been like that.
Well, let me get my character sheet out.
But maybe you're a crazy hacker and you hacked Roll20 so you can tell it what to roll for you.
Oh, I wish that was true.
But if I was doing that, if I had some cool like Tinger app or something that really made me roll good, the effort that it took me to do that minor bullshit, I deserve it. I deserve the good roll then, because I wasted a whole lot of time for some bullshit just to make a fun game not fun anymore.
I generally have a serious disdain for dice rollers in general, but I have noticed that Roll20's dice roller, the behavior of it changes drastically if you go into your settings and actually turn on the 3D dice. So I have noticed, and I don't know if anybody has ever had, for instance, the misfortune of going to, like, say, a casino and you're playing video blackjack, and the computer fucks up and starts giving you the same hand over and over and over again. I've had this happen a couple of times, and it's quite humorous. But you start to notice a similar behavior in the digital dice roller when it's just shitting out numbers into the text chat. If you turn on the 3D dice roller, there you are. Well, there you were. If you turn on the 3D dice roller, if you turn on the 3D dice roller, it then suddenly takes some physics into account, and it seems to actually start to work right. It's weird, but I mean it is like a day and night difference. And actually, when I turned on the 3D dice roller, I sat there and watched it. It rolled on a D20. It rolled a nat 1 like 3 times in a row, and that's not impossible, but it's pretty unlikely. And I noticed that kind of thing happens more and more with the digital dice roller. The second that I switched it over, it started to act like real dice. So I think that's the trick.
I get less repeats if I do just text chat rolling. I get the same fucking thing over and over and over and over and over again. Sometimes I don't know why, but yeah, I agree with the. I've got my digital dice turned on, and it's nice. It's pleasing to watch them roll across the screen.
Yeah, I really like it.
Yeah, I wish I could have my D&D Beyond dice sets on here, but okay, it's cool.
Yeah, the D&D. Oh man. I remember when they came out with those, and I was like, "Who's going to pay that kind of money for digital dice?" I mean, they're asking for digital dice pretty much what you would pay for real dice.
Yeah, but they give them away all the time too.
True. Yeah.
You could use the Go dice, where you roll them and they transmit the number.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about those.
I actually have a set. I've never actually pulled them out of the box to use them.
So, can we hear Cameron and Devin?
I hope so.
There you are. Okay, cool. Sweet. We're all here, and we have working cameras. All right. So we will be. This is welcome to the Pirates of Drinax. We will be picking up where we left off last week. You might notice we have our new Pirates of Drinax logo with the pirates fancy mushroom cloud. Yes, and Glenn's wearing the T-shirt, the fancy mushroom cloud pirate flag, and Cameron's got her shirt. That design was created by the wonderful Cameron, and that is going to be our new Pirates of Drinax logo. So you will see that on Twitch and on YouTube as the video is posted. And where we left off last week, these guys, they split the party. So let's see. If I remember, it was who was on
I'm part of the boarding action.
So yeah, Ox and I believe Ox and
I think Glenn and me.
Glenn and Tina are on the
Yeah, was it just
we're on the merchant.
Was it Ting and Gregor on the subsidized liner?
Yes.
And then the rest of you were on
right.
the Osiris.
That's correct. And then Ox, I think he was MIA, so he could probably be.
Yeah, we could put him on the liner as well. Now, if I remember correctly, too, this will be Gregor, Ting, and Ox. Maybe Ox's first time on Theev.
No, I've been here before.
Have you? Okay.
Yep.
I have not.
Oh, it is a wonderful, wonderful environment. Let me tell you.
It's a great shopping center.
Yes. All your criminal needs, one-stop shopping.
We're not necessarily on Theev yet. We had to park the liner.
So the liner docked at the Skull, which is a planetoid that is made into an artificial moon. It was dragged into orbit. It has reaction thrusters that they constantly have to adjust so that they don't lose orbit and crash into the planet. And it has been laser carved and essentially looks like a skull. And the docking ports are in the eyes and nose of the port. It is also bristling with all manner of weaponry. And so the Princess of Tobiah has docked at the Skull, which was recommended to you guys because it is a very noticeable ship, and so the pirates at Theev will dock it, and one of the things that you notice is that there is a lot of traffic here. Not all of it not all of it is notable pirate scum. There are, in fact, a couple of Imperial ships. There's smaller, in the 1,000-ton range, but there are a couple of Imperial ships here as well. And you've seen shuttles coming and going from these Imperial ships in orbit down to the planet. So, and of course Beth and Keith, they would know from having been here before that this does happen from time to time. In fact, there is a very fancy hotel, the Grand Hotel, that is built to more or less cater to the Imperials. And so the other side, the rest of you, so Beth, Devin, and Ting, Beth, Keith, and Ting, you were going down to, Beth and Keith only. You were going down to the planet, and aboard you have Professor Utah Mirabar Belzoni, who is an archaeologist who has basically driven you both almost to the point of madness with his incessant, boring lectures about the old Sindal Empire. And so you guys have actually been cleared to land planetside, and so you are heading that direction with the idea that Gregor, Ting, and Ox will take a shuttle and meet you planetside later. So before we get caught up into these shenanigans, that's kind of an inside joke. We will let's go ahead and thank a friend of the Greenwater Guildhall. None of these are sponsorships or partnerships of any kind. They're just products that we really, really like. And today we would like to thank the Speechless Bard. She makes beautiful leather products for your tabletop role-playing games, such as covers for your core rule books. She has a whole line of dice bracelets that have the shapes of the dice cut out on them. They can be customized in numerous ways. So if you like to show off your geeky side outside of gaming, that's, of course, an option. She has a dice rolling mat that when it's rolled up, it looks like a leather spell scroll. She has this really cool thing called the Spell Compendium that is a little spell book with a dice tray and a card holder, and on the inside cover is a magnetic spell tracker. She just does amazing work. She does all of the customization by hand. She even goes to the leather workers and hand picks her swaths of leather rather than bulk purchasing. She's just very meticulous about everything she does. If you are going to order, especially if it's for a gift idea, but even for yourself, be patient and make sure to give yourself a little bit of extra time. She is over in the UK, so it can take a little while to cross the pond, and with shipping concerns the way they are, it could take a little longer than might be expected. If you are a fan of our Traveler games, we do have a website in the description down below via Obsidian Portal. The adventure logs written in the manner of news service articles. That basically it's going to cover everything all across the Reach, but these guys being more and more notorious, especially with their primary identities right now. Well, I guess right now they're using their primary identities, but when they go undercover, maybe they won't be so front page news. There is going to be probably in the near, I don't want to say exactly when, but in the near future, there is going to be a lot of news coming out from outside of the Trojan Reach, and it's going to be detailing with a bunch of political drama that's going to be going on in the Imperium, but we will get to that when it happens. So keep an eye on that, and if you liked what you read, please go to the front page, give us a thumbs up. We like to see the fan likes. If you want to get a shirt like Cameron and Glenn are wearing, we do have those available on our merch store via Zazzle. That's down below as well. We've got Pirates of Drinax shirts. We've got the Greenwater Guildhall official T-shirt, as well as a official beer stein, which in reality makes an excellent coffee mug. I used mine this morning, as a matter of fact. So yeah, check out the merch store, and we hope you enjoy. So where we left off, Beth had gotten clearance for Osiris to land at the downport. So, Captain Beth, go ahead and make a piloting plus dex check. Looks like we got a little bit of lag going on.
Is this from us, or is it everybody?
No, I'm just seeing you lagging a little bit.
1 sec. Is that better?
Seems a little better.
Okay, cool. All right, so rolled poorly, once again, got 5.
Oh, shit. Okay, so Beth does the proper thing and rolls Osiris kind of over, coming in cockpit down, except that she's not coming in at a great angle.
Doesn't Osiris give a bonus too?
For piloting?
Yeah, with the controls and shit.
It does have holographic controls. Let me see what holographic controls do for
you. I know the Harrier gave you a +2, if I remember correctly. Yeah, well, I was thinking.
I hope so, man.
Yeah, me too. But it's okay because I am on a luxury liner and we are not coming in upside down.
That's because you can't land.
I would like another Mai Tai, please.
Yeah, the pool. We've probably,
Get your ass in here now.
We've got our favorite steward that we let serve us, and everybody else is in their rooms all the time.
All the time.
Yes.
Let's see here.
If I catch them out, we beat them severely, and they'll
And I
have
get to practice
cruel.
with my video combat.
We might have lost a couple of stewards.
It does.
Yeah.
Oh, no. It says holographic controls bridge design incorporates advanced interactive holographic displays and can be configured to automatically adapt to changing situations or personnel. A bridge with holographic controls is always optimized for the task at hand and grants a DM +2 when rolling for initiative. Holographic controls add plus 25% to the cost of the bridge and are available at TL9. So,
Yeah.
That's for initiative.
9? That seems awfully low for holographic control. Okay, whatever. So
I tried.
Yeah, it's a bonus to initiative, but so she's coming in hot, and the ship. Oh shit! The ship is going to take 11 points directly to the hull due to coming in too sharp. Okay. What am I doing? Bring up my stats for Osiris.
Yeah, you got to say the words like "I take my time."
Right?
Yeah.
I think I need to get pilot for space.
Well, in her defense, she really wasn't building pilots until our pilot
got sick
stopped
and had to
playing.
go somewhere else.
11 points. The Osiris has 240, so I mean that's not a major thing. But anyways, so Beth is coming in a little hot, and the control surface is overheat a bit, and a panel comes flying off. Nothing to worry about. But this is what Theev looks like ground side, and as Gregor, Ting, and Ox are stepping off of the Princess of Tobiah, and of course your captive crew are still in their locked in their rooms. I don't know if locked is correct, but yeah, they're in their rooms. And you guys kind of step off. You see these 3 women come walking up to you. And it's been a while. I wonder if I still have these in here. Let's see here. Yeah, well, yeah. So they all generally look like this. And they have that type of smile. They don't all look the same, but Ting and Ox, one of them looks vaguely familiar to you.
Oh, they look like what was it? 37 was her name?
Yeah.
That's Kung Fu.
So one of them looks like an slightly older version of 37.
Yeah.
Not quite the same hairstyle, but facial features. She could be a dead ringer for 37 in a couple of years. And the 3 of them come up to you, and the one in the lead just calmly smiles and welcomes you to Theev, welcomes you to the skull, and she goes over. Basically,
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Do we have atmosphere here?
On the skull, yes, and on Theev, yeah, no. Kind of. So, down the downport is split into two. And so, most of course, the upper port, which would be this section here, these are your docking ports where shuttles land you and whatnot. Most of this section, you would travel through sealed tunnels and things of that nature. Theev is a lot like Mars. And the downport is at Black Sand City, and it's so named because there are frequent windstorms that kick up, causing this black sand to this very fine black silicate to blow into great gusts, and so basically the surface of Theev is an unpleasant place. And then there is the lower city, the down here, and the lower city. The upper city is built on top of a cliff, with the lower city down in a ravine, and over the ravine is a large dome is built, and this is part of what the widows are bringing up. So they tell you, it's been a while since I looked at this. So these three women, it is very clear that all three of them have benefited from genetic and cybernetic augmentation, and you're pretty sure that they're clones. They wear loose black fitting pea coat with ceramic polycarapace underneath. They are all clearly armed under their big coats, and they explain. She says if this is your first time on Theev, the laws are simple, especially down in Black Sand City. Here in the starport or in the upper city or any building marked by red flags, the law of the lords holds sway. She says the law of the lords is no murder, no weapons fire, nothing that offends the calm and tranquility of the city. Anywhere else on the planet's surface, anywhere in the canyons below, anywhere not marked by red flags, another law holds sway, and that is the law of the street. The only restriction there is a ban on any weapon that might breach the city's environmental containment. The punishment for breaking either law is the same: death. And she says, when you're down on the planet's surface, make sure to pay attention because the red flag zones can move. So some buildings in the lower city will be protected one day and then left open to the law of the streets on the next. So please remain aware of where the red flag zones are. And then she smiles at you like sunlight glinting off the edge of a knife, and says, enjoy your stay. And the three of them turn around and walk off, and she stops and she turns around and she says, I'm assuming that you'll want to set up a broker for the passengers. I mean, you're not keeping the passengers, right? And she's saying this to Gregor and Ting.
Well, yeah, I am. I do happen to have some passengers of great importance that are most earnestly wishing to be returned to their family for a nominal fee.
She says, perfectly understandable. I can set you up with a repatriation broker that can, I'm sure that they can get a fee and a percentage for all that will be agreeable.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
She said, I can have them contact you down on the planet's surface. A shuttle will be leaving within the next 30 minutes, heading to planet side if you want to meet up with your other vessel.
And do we Captain Beth?
Do we want to leave somebody to keep the fucking prisoners in check until we?
Oh, they're not going anywhere. Yeah, I mean, Yeah, the pirates here. They're not going to allow them to step off the ship. You're safe.
All right. I'll trust the GM and continue to roll on with. Yeah, we're gonna go rendezvous with the Osiris.
Oh boy, let's go.
Okay.
You
I want to go ski the scrap heap.
Yeah, they've already been to the scrap heap. That was a harrowing adventure. So, Beth brings the Osiris down, kind of in a rough manner, but she gets it down into these. Now, these large landing bays, they're pits dug into the ground. But the way that the the pirate lords of Theev have the whole thing set up is that you land your ship into one of these, and then a black dome comes up and closes over the docking bay. So that way, ships passing overhead can't spy and see, who is actually docked in the docking port. And so Beth comes down, and it's a little bumpy, kind of set one skid down, then the other skid comes down before it finally kind of settles. And you guys are able to disembark, and you are greeted by yet another 3 widows, and they greet you, and they go through the spiel about the red zones and the red flag zones and all of that, and then finally the lead widow says that your fellow crewmates, I've been informed that they're boarding a shuttle and will be meeting down shortly, and I should also tell you that that she pulls out her mobile comm and she kind of flicks her finger, and your mobile comm lights up with a dinner invitation, and she says you've been invited to dinner by Admiral Darokyn, and he has set you up with rooms in the Grand Hotel.
Oh, isn't that nice?
I
Have to meet our new roommates. Is it just for me, or the other people come too?
Your whole entire crew are invited.
Yeah, sweet. This will be a good time. Okay.
So
you guys need to dig into the luxury clothes before we sell them. If I find a good outfit, this place is pretty swanky.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You could buy new clothes. I mean, you guys have more money now.
We spent all our money, didn't we? Oh, we spent a whole bunch of money bribing people or whatever to do the deal in order to get the Osiris. Didn't that break the ship funds pretty much?
Yeah, but
that's true. You did spend quite a bit.
We have tons of luxury clothing now. There's got to be something that
that's
fits.
true. There's probably something there that'll fit you.
Yeah.
You just go through these guys' clothes, pick out what you want. So, Ting and Glenn, you're riding a passenger shuttle down from the Skull, and
I think Ox is with us too, right?
Yes, and Ox, that's right. And so the 3 of you are kind of going over. You've got your mobile comms, and you're looking at the local data network for Theev, and it's basically almost seems like a tourism brochure, and there are a number of locations that are available on Theev. There is, of course, there we go. There's the Grand Hotel, which basically is the tallest tower. It's kind of just thrusts up out of the middle of the upper city. Caters primarily to visitors from the Imperium. There's the Cliff District, which is corporations based in the area that specialize in weaponry and mercenary forces, questionable activities. There's Kalios Shipyards. This is a company operated that supplies weapons to ships and recycling stolen, borrowed, found, salvaged parts. There's the Mergen Consortium, that is a known mercenary group that has their headquarters based on Theev. They have their own ships, and they boast nearly 1,000 trained soldiers, commanded by Colonel Johanna Mergen. Let's see, in the upper city. In the lower city, there are a couple of. I mean, these are just kind of listed, kind of as an afterthought, because they don't really advertise lower city too much. That's like, come see our beautiful ghetto. But there is, if you're looking for parts from ships and you are looking for cheaper prices than you might get from Kalia shipyards, you can always go ahead and go to the scrap heap and find the parts yourself. It's a pick and pull. There is a number of illegal locations if drug dens are your thing. One of them is known as brain dimming. They cater to all manner of drugs that most people can't pronounce and some species can't even metabolize. There is the Church of the Traveler. Tux is these guys have been to Tux a couple times. Tux is a cafe that is all vegetarian. It is run by a Kakri bartender. It is said that some of the toughest pirates have actually turned vegetarian after eating at Tux. There is the House Without Question. Not many people know what goes on at the House Without Question, but it is the place where you can go as a last resort. They will feed you, they will clothe you, and they will protect you, no questions asked, and you can also hire them to perform a task. And finally, to perform a task. You could hire them to take care of something, and if it is possible, they will quote you a price. If you pay that price, they will somehow accomplish your desired goal. No questions asked. And then last but not least, if you're into sports, there is the Blood Pit, where there are fights to the death between Sophonts and alien creatures, gladiators, prisoners fighting alien predators, steel cage matches against killer robots, running gun battles. Anything goes. It can all be very exciting. And so these are kind of this is your travel brochure of welcome to Theev. And so your shuttle comes down, and the shuttle actually docks directly with the Grand Hotel. And you guys meet up with Beth and Keith, and here's Beth with her invitation. And what are your plans? And the suite that you have been given in the Grand Hotel it's an Admiral suite.
Oh, isn't that nice?
That's sweet.
That is nice. I guess the first order of business I would have is, I want to see about getting rid of our. I've got to do my kidnap victims who have just been wrongfully snatched from their luxury liner and are about to be.
Well, the broker will contact you.
Okay. Well, then I've got all that cargo that I need to get rid of, and the ship itself. I think we're going to try to ditch that. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to have just a whole bunch of shit. I'm trying to sell all that.
So all of that will take time.
Yeah.
There will be a repatriation broker that will collect all the information from the passengers. Now the problem is that obviously the repatriation broker is going to have to send messages out to the families of these individuals, which that will take time. At a minimum, you're looking at 1 week. You're probably going to be looking at longer because, it is a cruise liner, so these people have probably been on the ship for a while. It could be anywhere from 1 to 6 weeks just for them to receive the message. So it might be 12 weeks before you hear anything back.
Well, it is what it is.
As far as like the brokerage for selling the stolen or the loot that you stolen items, that they'll be getting back to you later today, and a representative from Kalia Shipyards will be getting a hold of you later, as if not by tomorrow morning, to let you know what it is that they can do about selling the ship.
Okay. We need to see about hiring crew while we're here too. I think I'm going to suggest that to the captain. Like we hire a crew so they can fly the ships that we steal.
Yeah, I'll see if they got any good people to hire, I guess.
What
There's
if
gotta be
the
some-
merchants have any?
What is that, Glenn?
I wonder if the mercenaries have something like that.
Oh yeah, this I would think this is the place to get your pirate crews to put on boats or ships that we take, and all. I would think this is the place where you hire people that will fuck you over in a couple of weeks.
That's right. That's why you want somebody working for the colonel to go get them.
Yeah. But I mean, that's all
Captain, I need a bit of red ale. May I go down to the bar?
Enjoy.
So the Grand Hotel has a absolutely magnificent restaurant and bar. The restaurant has a name. I want to say it's like the Rose and Thorn, and it's a very high-end 5-star restaurant. They also have, of course, like any of them, they have a bar, unless you want to, really go rough and tumble and go to the lower city, and you can go drink at Tuck's.
I'm not vegetarian, so I don't want to drink someplace where I can't eat.
All right, so Rose and Thorn it is. So you go into the Rose and you start drinking. How much are you going to spend on drinking?
How about 100 credits?
Okay, there you go. So you drop 100 credits. Make a carouse plus social check.
I have no social.
Oh, you're probably about to.
Oh, I mean, we'll get your social up, man. Don't you worry.
Yeah, the problem with the social stat is that it can be a double-edged sword. So you don't really hear any juicy rumors or anything about anything in particular. But with a 7, you are able to pick up that there is some, especially, well, at least here in the upper city, you're noticing that there is some very nuanced conversation. And the thing that you pick up is that everybody knows what everybody's talking about. Everybody knows that they're talking about piracy. Everybody knows that they're talking about murder. Everybody knows that they're talking about fencing illegal goods. But nobody says it out loud. It's all discussing transference of cargo. It's talk of hiring dock workers
indentured
or
servants.
right, right, yes, unpaid labor, things of that manner. But they never mention, Sofont trafficking, or they never talk about it out loud. It's always nuanced in a way. They use other words to mean other things, and you quickly pick up that there's this unspoken rule of civility in the upper city.
Which I assume doesn't exist in the lower city.
Probably not. The digital brochure that you're reading kind of makes the lower city. It even states that most of the lower it is advised against most people going to the lower city. It is the law of the streets rules supreme in the lower city, and it is not for the faint of heart. What is Ting doing?
Ting's waiting for somebody.
Yeah. Well, no. If I'm waiting on my broker contacts and stuff to come by, I've got to make good use of my time. I want to go ahead and go about and I want to see if I want to try to carouse about and see if I can pick up some information on juicy ship targets to steal.
Okay.
If anybody knows of any good hauls or anything that might be, going about their way, I'll go ahead and I'll drop. I'm gonna go to a nice high-end pirate bar, and I'm gonna drop 468 credits.
Oh, I'm sorry, it was the Rose Pavilion. Right here, it's number 5 is where the bar and restaurant is. It's kind of attached. The Rose Pavilion. It is attached to the Grand Hotel. So you're dropping a ton on carousing, and you're basically, are you buying people drinks? I assume you're going to the Rose Pavilion as well.
Yeah, I'm going there. I'm Ting Hansen, Star Dragon Knight of Jagersil. I'm buying drinks and I'm having a good old time.
Okay.
And really, I'm not even interested in fucking with people that act like they ain't heard of me because they're not pirate enough. You hadn't heard of fucking Ting Hansen? How
much money are you dropping?
468 credits.
Okay, that's pretty good.
That allowed me to put 000 at the end of my credit card.
I know how that works. I will allow you to make a carouse plus social check, and you get a +2 to that.
All right, so I can use my social, which I'm pretty good at that. And carouse is 1, 2, 3 plus. You told me I could have 2, so that's 5.
Yep. Believe it or not, 460 credits to someplace like the Rose Pavilion doesn't go as far as you might think.
I hear you. I only got a 9.
I only got 3 beers.
Yeah, right. Yeah, for 100 credits, you got like 3 beers, not including the tip. So you got a 9. So yeah, you pick up some information, not necessarily juicy tidbits about pirate ships. You are chatting with a number of very well-dressed, but clearly larcenous individuals. And these 3 tell you that they have heard that a ship was hit, and that aboard the pirates that had taken the ship, there was a famous archaeologist aboard, and that he knows something about some lost Sandalian treasure, and that there are several bands that are trying to find him so that they can get access to this treasure.
Wow. Well, that is just really useless information, you guys. Let me tell you this story, and this is some good information. The same pirates that did that fucking nuked fucking Imperium fucking ship and just fucking left. They didn't ask for nothing. They just did a big rimming of them and just cruised off. That's the type of motherfuckers those guys are.
Yes, and that story about you guys in the Anubis actually nuking a Imperial corvette, that patrol corvette, that is playing almost. There is some story about that almost every 2 hours on the vid screens everywhere.
Damn right. When you see the Anubis roll up, you just power your shit down and start opening your cargo bay. That's what you do.
What is
I
Ox?
shoot you.
What is Ox doing with his time?
I got 10,000 credits. I need to gamble.
Gonna gamble on some blood sports, maybe?
Yeah, there is the blood pit down in the lower city, which is one of the better gambling establishments.
Okay, sounds like it.
The blood pit is down here.
Number 13.
Yes.
Lucky 13.
Yeah, lucky 13. So you get down into the lower city, and you can totally see. So so up here in the upper city, there is this location known as a Ashardan Camp, and the Ashardan Camp is essentially people who arrive on Theev that have no money. And I mean, the prices in the upper city are border on extortion. So these people with no money, if they're lucky enough, they'll end up in a Ashardan camp. It's a refugee camp on the edge of the upper city. And the downside of the Ashardan camp is a lot of these people, basically working on the generosity of others, and I put generosity in air quotes, they end up in some form of indentured servitude. What you are seeing as you get down into the lower city is that a large bulk of people, the bigger bulk of people, actually live down here. And this is a tightly packed hive of scum and villainy. I mean, everything around here, people are openly carrying weapons down the street. They eye you as soon as they see you, like they're sizing you up, whether or not they can take everything that is on you. It's just a really shitty place. But you make your way over to the blood pit.
I assume there'd be some sort of transportation from the upper city to the blood pit.
There are basically lift lines that go up and down the cliff face down to the lower city. Down in the lower city, there are, as far as transportation goes, I mean, there are a number of people driving around in beat-up old air rafts, barely functioning cars, but there is a lift line or a group of people that actually run rickshaws, and they will carry you around to wherever you want to go. And a rickshaw down here, a trip from one of the probably the lifts here, which this lift comes down the intersection right in front of Tux. There are a number of these young rickshaw. I was going to say drivers, but they're really not drivers. But anyways, there's a number of these guys with rickshaws, and they will charge you 15 credits to go from here to the blood pit.
Yeah, I'll take one of those.
Okay.
And I'm watching on my little comm map to make sure I'm heading to the blood pit.
Yes.
And I don't have to shoot the rickshaw driver.
Right. And yeah, this guy seems like he's on the up and up, and he's heading in the proper direction towards the blood pit. We'll come back to what's going on at the blood pit in a moment. Every time we go to the Theev, you guys split up and go multiple directions. It's kind of amusing. Keith, what are you doing?
So Keith is going to order room service for myself and the archaeologist, who we will be taking care of each other tonight, just to make sure that he does not take off and get himself killed or kidnapped or anything like that.
Yeah, he is quite excited to be on Theev, and he has only, outside of most of the Trojan Reach, Theev is a mythical place. There are, I mean, let's face it, in Charted Space there are multiple pirate planets. But Theev is there's not very many people that actually believe that Theev actually exists. Indeed it does. And and the weird thing about Theev is that it's not very far from an Imperial naval base. And yet, here it is. And
so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit down with the professor and be like, okay, we're going to practice some scenarios. Try and keep you safe.
Okay.
And I'll mention something just like sort of related to the Sindalian Empire. And if he starts just like going off about it, I'll just slap him in the face. Just be like, no, we don't do that here. Mm-mm. We'll just try that until he gets it. That he's just not here. You're gonna get killed. And I'll really enjoy it because I've been stuck with him doing that for so long.
So
I will have conveyed the information I picked up about the archaeologist too, knowing where a treasure thing is.
Yeah, you cannot let it slip, or someone might beat us there.
So is Ting heading, now that you've got some information and drinking out of your system? Because you guys do have the dinner with the Admiral tonight.
Truth. Yes, we do.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get dressed in my my Sindalian officer's uniform, and with my cool shiny medal that I dropped a grip for all of us to have one of.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you
That's
guys,
right.
you guys are pimp slapping the professor every time he brings up the Sindalian Empire, and it's very difficult to get him to shut up. But after about 6 or 7 slaps, he starts to pick up that he needs to stop, and he almost looks like he's about to explode every time he has to not talk about the Sindalian Empire. And
we'll give him a chance to talk about it extra when we get back on the ship.
Then you're going to buy some earplugs.
He wants to know if there will be time to do any sightseeing around the upper city.
Probably, but don't go alone. Someone will steal your kidneys.
Literally.
Can I get some fish and chips at the bar?
You can get something approximating to fish and chips, I'm sure. I mean, they're not going to be fresh.
Then I think I'll skip that.
I'll ask
the
doctor. Go ahead.
You definitely can. In fact, most of the food at the Rose Pavilion, you would never know that it's not fresh. It is the best of everything here.
I'll ask the doctor. I'll ask the doctor if my uniform is correct.
Oh, that's actually a legitimate question, and so so he kind of goes over your uniform, this new medal that you have purchased. He's never seen that before, but he points out on your uniform a number of the campaign ribbons. And the ribbons on Ting's uniform, when he comes stepping into the central area of the Admiral suite, is that they were They were campaigns of suppression against a number of planets.
Well, that'd be typical Sindalian, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, isn't that like almost every campaign ribbon? But like he brings up, like he points to one ribbon and says that this is a campaign ribbon, saying that whoever wore this uniform before you was present at Homestead. There's another campaign ribbon that shows that they were present at the same person was present at the defense of Albie. He just goes on. I mean, there's a whole litany of campaign ribbons. And I mean, when he says campaign ribbons, none of these are good. These were where the Sindalian Navy came in and said, pay your taxes or else we'll bomb you with atomics and biological weapons. So,
I'm pretty proud of my big golden dildo medal.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
I'll tell them about it. I'm like, this is where we nuked that, whatever the hell the name of that ship was, and rescued our crew. This is the most important medal I have, besides being the Star Dragon Knight of Jagersil.
So tell me, how many years ago did these battle campaigns occur?
About 2,000 years ago.
A long time.
It's been a long time. But
so the king is now 2,000 years old?
No. I mean, this wasn't his uniform. They found these in the ship's locker. I think of the Harrier, they found some of them in a locker down on a lost base that they found, et cetera, et cetera. And so these guys are just, well, this fits, so we'll wear this to look fancy.
Had some nice shiny shit on it, flashy bling. Looked real good. Yeah.
So, so Ox, you arrive at the blood pit, and the kid pulling the rickshaw wants to know if he should wait around for you.
Sure.
And he holds his hand out.
Okay. Well, I'll give him double the price they already gave me.
Okay.
Stay here, wait for me.
All right. He's perfectly happy to do that.
Hell, I'm expecting to blow 10 grand, so what's a few more credits?
So you step into the blood pit, and it pretty much is exactly like what you expected. There is a big hole in the ground with bleachers around it, and a number of betting booths at the top, and that's about as high-tech as it gets at the blood pit. And down, there are numerous gates that open up into the central fighting area. And when you step in, there is currently a fight going on between a man with a cybernetic arm, and he is going toe-to-toe with an Aslan. And the fights that go on, they currently, what this series of fights is that they pick or they randomly choose what weapons will be used before the combat begins. And the guy with the cybernetic arm, he was just given basically spiked brass knuckles to fight this Aslan. And the Aslan was unfortunate enough to be given empty hands, but you know full well that Aslan have dew claws, and so that probably isn't that big of a problem for the Aslan. The guy with the cybernetic arm doesn't appear to be doing very well. But you're seeing that people are placing bets constantly on who's going to win this fight, and it is a bustle of activity.
Okay. Well, now, do they have? Is it just at the blood pit? It's just the blood sports. They don't have any other gambling.
Nope, it's all blood sports all the time.
Well, throw myself into it. Start gambling.
Okay. How much are you betting?
Well, I've got 10 grand over the course of the evening, but I'm gonna end up betting it all.
Oh my. Okay. All right. Well, we will. Well, let's see here. On your first bet.
Well, how often do they do fights?
Usually about one. Usually they have a new fight about every hour.
Okay, so figure 5 hours. So I'll bet 2 grand on 5 fights.
Okay. So on your first fight, make a gambling plus intellect check.
Okay. You 6. I suck. I picked the wrong guy that one.
You just made that one. So, you bet on the underdog, which was the guy with the cybernetic arm, and he ends up killing the Aslan and wins. And so you make back 4 grand.
Wait, I got a 6. How did I win that one?
Because I rolled a 6, so you got exactly what you needed.
Okay. Good. I like that. Okay.
It's gambling, so I'm I'm randomizing the check.
Okay.
Go ahead and make another gambling plus intellect check.
Okay. 9.
Shit, you did it again. You win another 4 grand.
Okay.
And we will come back to you in just a moment. So, Gregor, you've had your 3 beers and some fish and chips. Are you? I would assume that Beth told everybody about the dinner invitations.
Oh yeah.
So are you?
How long do we have to dinner?
Not too much longer. I mean, a couple of hours, but it depends on how much primping do you want to do to get ready for dinner with somebody named Admiral Darokyn?
Well, all I have is my. Let's see, what do they call it? Kilt. All I have is my kilt to put on.
No, that's true. All right.
We've got luxury clothes. You could just find a badass outfit if you want. It's on the merchant ship.
So I have to go up and get it?
No, we transferred that shit to.
Yeah, I would say that stuff was transferred down.
Yeah.
So I'll go over to the wherever it is. I assume it's at number 1 somewhere at the dock.
Yeah, more than likely, you're probably looking at going over to the docks here. It is probably at number 4 where Kalios shipyards are. That's where they're going to hold your cargo until the broker's done with it, and you can pick out of it what you'd like.
Okay, well, I'm going to go over there and start looking.
Okay. So you find a number of items that look like they'll fit. Some of them you might go with like a tuxedo top with your kilt. It's up to you how you want to dress. But yeah, you can find some luxury clothes.
Tuxedo top with the kilt sounds good.
All right. So Ox, make another gambling plus intellect check.
It must be there. It is.
Shit, you win another 2,000 credits.
Okay.
Or I'm sorry, 4,000. You bet 2,000. That's 3. You gotta lose sooner or later. Oh, there's a tough one. Go ahead and try it again. So this time you lose 2 grand.
Okay.
And your last check.
So up a net 4.
Try one more time. Man, that's gonna be an easy one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You win another 4.
You could tell looking at that fighter, that guy was limping at the beginning. He had no chance.
Yeah, the last fight wasn't nearly as exciting as you had hoped. It was basically a group of prisoners. They call them prisoners. They're probably just, poor indentured slaves that were captured off of some ship. And they were actually put up against a Sindalian deathbot. And as soon as these prisoners came out, you knew that they didn't stand a chance. So you put your money on the deathbot.
Oh yeah. Now, keeping my ears open while I'm down there for any interesting gossip or talk or stuff.
Go ahead and make a carouse plus social check.
Okay. Nine.
Okay. So you hear a couple of things. You hear that Oh, sorry. I was on the wrong book. I was like, why am I not seeing what I'm supposed to be seeing? Because I'm in the wrong book. So you hear the same rumor that Tang heard about numerous pirates being out after this professor. However, one of the rumors that you hear is that one of these pirates that's after the professor is a pirate lord by the name of Peter Valus. Peter Valus is a very prominent, well-known pirate here on Theev. It is highly rumored that Peter Valus may be one of the pirate lords of Theev. Nobody really knows who all of these pirate lords are. But the pirate lords are essentially the people that run the planet. And they don't appear to really answer to anybody. And a lot of times, the agreements that they come up with as far as how to run Theev is more or less a gentleman's handshake between pirates that can't trust one another. So whether or not, some of these things really ever hold true to the end is anybody's guess. So far from what you're seeing, I mean, Theev seems to be operating basically on autopilot, but it remains, at least in the upper city, it remains fairly peaceful, and you quickly realize that the reason for the lower city is kind of a pressure release valve for these guys. But Peter Valus is a well-known pirate. This is his. This kind of need to be able to spell his name.
Does the rumor say anything about what treasure it is?
Nobody really knows, but the assumption that's going around seems to be that it's money.
Some sort of hard currency, I guess.
Yeah, their guess. Anybody's guess, to bars of pure iridium, to platinum, to Sindalian credit chits. Why is that not coming up? I know I put this in here.
If possible, I'd like to talk to the guy who owns the Sindalian Deathbot.
Okay.
Just to mention, hey, I might know somebody who'd be interested in buying that if you're interested in selling. I got a guy that I know that collects Sindalian stuff.
He's he's not interested in selling.
Okay. Just interested. Looks like it makes you good money.
Yeah, well, I mean, for one, the death bots are extremely difficult to come across.
Oh yeah, that's why I was asking.
And for two, hold on, I have to create this. For two, they're exceptionally dangerous, and so he spent quite a bit of money finding somebody that was going to be able to hack this thing and essentially make it respond to his commands.
Right. Well, I'm just thinking Ting would love to have one of those to drive around and play with.
Oh yeah, right.
It would go well with the motif of our ship. You know, Sindalian Harrier. You might as well have a Sindalian Deathbot.
So this is the pirate insignia of Peter Vallis's gang, and Peter Vallis, what you're hearing on the street is that Peter Vallis is very, very interested in finding this professor. He wants to go after this pirate treasure. And the thing about Peter Vallis's gang is that the story that you've heard is that he and his entire family were slaves of the Glorious Empire. They were liberated, but during that battle, the Glorious Empire, their forces killed his wife and children. And Peter Vallis now blames all Aslan. And his pirate gang basically spends most of their time in the Dust Belt along the Aslan border, basically doing nothing but raiding Aslan ships. And his pirate...
That's one brave guy.
yeah, he is of a singular mind as a madman, basically doing nothing but being a thorn in the paw of the Aslan Herate. And he makes no distinction between attacking Herate ships and Glorious Empire ships. If it's an Aslan, he wants it dead. The other thing that you know about Peter Vallis is that there is basically no love lost between him and another big-name pirate on Theev, who goes by the name of Hrol Irontooth. And Hrol Irontooth is an Aslan that has gone complete pirate. He's called Irontooth because his lower jaw has been replaced by cybernetics. And Irontooth is the archetypical Aslan. He doesn't say something when he can roar it or bellow it at the top of his lungs. He doesn't ask for things; he demands them. And he is there's a constant tension between him and Peter Vallis.
Well, I could see that.
Yeah, we've encountered both of them, the captain and I.
Yes. Yeah, and Peter Vallis is just as psychotic as the descriptions make him sound. More so in person. So, I mean, it's obvious that he would want to find this treasure so that he can essentially fund his insane war campaign of his few small pirate ships against the Aslan.
We might have to request the professor stay on the Cyrus. I mean, a pirate lord of Theev and we're on Theev. I mean, he's got to have ears everywhere, eyes and ears everywhere.
More than likely.
Yeah. What does the professor say when asked about this Indalian treasure?
He doesn't know what it is, and he has told you guys the whole reason why he was aboard the Princess of Tobiah is that at Clark he was going to disembark and he was going to hire a trader captain, hopefully, to take him to Drinax because he has a message orb. And the message orbs can only be safely opened with Sindalian ducal codes. And the last known ducal codes of Sindal would reside, well, the closest ones, would reside on Drinax. So King Oleg has those codes. And he'd hoped to meet with Oleg and, talk talk him into unlocking this thing to see what's inside. There is a possibility that you could try to hack it, but if you hack into this message orb and you screw it up, the entire contents are deleted. So the professor's not real excited by that idea. He wants to open it properly to preserve the codes inside to see what the message is.
Is he cool with just staying on the ship then and not getting off?
I feel like
in the hotel.
He might be in more danger by himself than with us.
Hey, yeah, remember what happened last time you left somebody on the ship? Remember Teddy?
Mm-hmm.
Barely.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if he needs to be babysit, I mean,
I
don't know, put him in a low berth.
He's gonna have no. I don't want to fuck him up on freezing him. He can hang out with us. We've slapped him around enough that he won't talk about stuff too much. And this one, okay, we are friends with other pirate lords, so it's not like having one after our shit is that bad, because we know other ones that are on our side, so it's okay.
All right, well, cool. Yeah.
Okay. So, Ox, you hear all of this information, and it is getting late enough now that you're going to have to go. If you want to go to this dinner, you're going to have to go change and clean up.
I'll go do that.
Now that you're a little richer, and dutifully waiting for you is your rickshaw guy.
Okay.
And he pulls you back to the elevator, back up to the upper city, and tells you, if you never need to ride again, you come find me. And
will do.
You ride the elevator back up, and so how is Ox dressing? Are you putting on your most garish Varuk?
Oh, of course.
Oh yeah. Okay, so bright
and I will
colors.
pass the information on the rumor that I heard too to the rest of the crew while we're getting ready.
Okay, so yeah, you guys are all in your room. The professor puts on a essentially it's a tweed suit with a bow tie. You look at him and you're like, God, you're a nerd. And but the rest of you are looking pretty good. I mean, Ox looks like a dog that fell into a paint bucket, or 3 paint buckets. But aside from that, you guys are all dressed up pretty good. And you make your way to the Rose Pavilion where this dinner is going to be taking place, and it is in the private dining hall. So the dining rooms for the Rose Pavilion, each booth that you sit at, the booths can actually close, and they have sound dampening, and they offer complete privacy. So there are a whole bunch of these booths with frosted glass that are shut off, and as you pass these booths that there are illicit deals being made, plans to hit ships, things of that matter. And the same can be said for Admiral Darokyn's private dining room. And Darokyn's private dining room, when you step in, he's already there. And sitting next to him is somebody named Varuk Nirgol. And I think Beth and Keith remember Varuk. Varuk is an old man. He runs a shop in the lower city that essentially deals in information, and he looks like a kindly old man. He's leaning on the table. He normally walks with a cane. In his shop, his shop is basically run by beautiful young women that are barely clothed, that he refers to as his granddaughters, and they've done a couple of jobs for Varuk, and it's just him and Admiral Darokyn that are sitting there. And Darokyn is a fairly tall man with a gray beard and almost white, short cropped white hair. He is wearing a naval officer's uniform that is all black with crimson red piping, and the only insignia that he's wearing, he doesn't have campaign ribbons. He just has a chromed pin where his campaign ribbons would normally be, that is just a stylized letter D with a sword through it. And he stands as you come into the dining room, and he says, "Oh, good, you're all here. Welcome, welcome. Please sit, and we shall order wine. It is a time for celebration." And the doors close as the waitress leaves to go retrieve wine. And like I said, the doors are like glass doors, and they close, and then he hits a button on the table, and they immediately frost so that nobody can see in or out. In fact, all of your mobile comms blank. They have no signal. So the room is completely sealed off. And after a while, the waitress shows up with your wine and informs the Admiral that the dinner meals that he ordered will be arriving soon. He basically ordered just a feast. There's going to be the table's going to be loaded with food shortly. And she leaves, and he holds up a glass, and he looks at Varuk Nirgol, and he says, "So before we get started, I want to be sure that you want to actually go through with this." And Nirgol, "Oh yes, I do believe that my sponsorship is in our best interests, especially after we lost one of the lords of Theev." So Admiral Darokyn turns and looks at Captain Beth and says, "You are being sponsored by Varuk Nirgol to take the empty seat on the as a lord of Theev."
Oh my god, that's so cool.
Congratulations, Captain.
Thank you.
And that's really badass.
Of course, that will, that benefit really extends to all of you, because
Holy shit.
the first thing that this entails, of course, is that you'll have free landing access on Theev. You'll have some of the markets are going to open up to you. You'll have if you need crew for ships, that'll be much easier for you to get. But the position that he is referring to that has opened up is from the death of Varuk Redthane and his girlfriend Miria Silverhand. Varuk Redthane was a pirate lord of Theev. These guys kind of found out that he did something to piss off Admiral Darokyn, and basically the other pirate lords decided that the best course of action was just to eradicate Varuk Redthane, and these guys were hired pretty much to do that. They didn't. They instead handed him over to Torpal and Clark, where he was wanted for piracy and raiding. And Torpal basically carbon froze him and put him in orbit around the planet. They then told Miria Silverhand his coordinates, and she tried to rescue him, and in the process, both of them were captured by the Imperium. And Redthane was immediately thawed out of carbon freeze and then promptly spaced. And Miria Silverhand, they kept around for another 9 months because she was pregnant. She gave birth, and then they threw her out an airlock. And who knows what happened to the kid? Probably is in the loving arms of somebody in the Spinward Marches by now. So this was an empty seat on the Lord's table that they are offering to Captain Beth Smith and thus everybody. Any questions or statements about being a pirate lord?
Is there any specific functions of this particular lord slot?
Well, they do meet. They try to meet here at the Rose Pavilion about once a year to decide on policy. Darokyn pretty much tells you up front that he knows that it was your ship that caused the current Imperial strife in the Reach by using nuclear weapons on an Imperial patrol corvette, and he really questions Varuk and Nirgol's desire to sponsor you as lords, but the council voted on it, and he was outvoted. Now, one of the pieces of information that Varuk Redthane claimed was that what really pissed off Admiral Darokyn was the fact that Varuk Redthane found out that Darokyn is really working for the Imperium, that he is a deep undercover operative, and Varuk Redthane claims that proof of this can be found in the computer memory banks on Darokyn's flagship. And I mean, that's nigh impossible to infiltrate. So these guys are aware that Darokyn may be an Imperial operative, but then again, I mean, it's really hard to say.
I'll point out to my shiny medal, you know, when the subject comes up, and I know y'all did this and all this, I'll be like, yeah, we had medals made to commemorate it. It was such an epic ass whooping we put down upon the Imperium.
And he says,
Corvette.
Yes, and that fact is what endeared other lords such as Peter. Probably the only time I've seen Peter Valus and Hrol Irontooth agree on anything is that they thought that you were quite magnificent in your actions. I, however, see things in a more realistic light, and your actions actually have put all of us at risk because there are increased Imperial patrols all along the Dust Belt. And we're not talking about patrol corvettes anymore. We're talking about big planet-class cruisers that are guarding the convoys.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's got to be really resource intensive to keep the trade going through then. I mean, that's a lot of paychecks.
Well, he looks over at Varuk Nirgol and he says, it also, having you on as Lords of Theev kind of puts us in a difficult situation, but it seems that one of the arguments is that it seems that for the past couple of months at least, you have been keeping a lower profile than usual. And so I begrudgingly have agreed to grant this position to you.
Well, I mean, with your blessing means so much to us. I mean, even if it's against, you know, your better thing, you know, perhaps we could come up with a plan or a way that would make you more accepting of us and happy with us. You know, perhaps we share some common goals that we could work on together.
So, hearing all of this, the professor is sitting there, and he's hearing all of this. He's gotten really quiet all of a sudden. He's gotten really quiet.
No kidding.
Good for him. He's learned. His lesson worked out really well.
Well, the look on his face is that he's not just having a pirate adventure in the Reach. That he's actually sitting at a table eating dinner with essentially serial killers and hardened murderers all around him.
Yeah, he's hearing about nuke stuff. And I'm like, well, you make 0 of the shots you don't take.
That's why
That's
we
right.
use nukes.
Yeah.
You get more shots than one.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, in our defense, we wouldn't have nuked the bastards if they had not come up with bullshit to incriminate our crew and seized our crew of one of our ships. That is just an unacceptable action.
And Darokyn concedes that he concedes that a message needed to be sent. And he says, I guess it's just the size of the messenger that you used.
Well, there's only really one way to say fuck around and find out to the Imperium.
Well, that he says is the problems that we're the ones that are finding out. And but we'll see how well this goes. I mean, if we can keep things down to a low simmer rather than a boiling royal here for the next couple of months, maybe a year, maybe their patrols will die down and they'll give up trying to hunt you.
Maybe, perhaps, just thinking out loud here is, perhaps you could ask the Imperium if you have contacts with them, if they would be interested in hiring secure passes through the Trojan Reach.
Make a persuasion plus charm check.
You sure take away from my social, don't you? Yeah. Looking for my persuasion skill. I know I've got at least a 1. Yep, I've got 1, and then my charm is 9, so this will be +2.
Okay.
That's a 10.
So, the smile never fades from his face, but there is a glint in his eyes that looks like he could shoot lasers out of his eyes right through Ting, and he just lets the whole thing about whether or not he has contacts at the Imperium just slide. And he continues to talk. He acts completely charming, acts like that he is having dinner with the Emperor himself. And his posture is ramrod straight, but he's just glaring daggers through Ting. And he says, I wouldn't even know where to begin.
Oh, don't take offense, please. I wasn't meaning like you personally had contacts, but I mean, there's Imperium ships sitting right out there. I mean, surely somebody knows somebody that has contact with somebody that has sway with the Imperium. And if they're trying to ship through here, and they're using that Imperial naval base, I mean, that's just a lot of resources and manpower. If somebody could tell them that, hey, if you need safe passage through the Trojan Reach, that would be that could be arranged. I mean, that's just good business sense. That's not meaning that you're a dirtbag imp.
He admits that he admits that the Imperial ships that you see, there was like a Fertilance class and a Chrysanthemum class ship, and he admits that those vessels do occasionally come in. There are it's not unknown that Theev exists, and there is a gentlemanly agreement between the Lords of Theev and the Imperium that essentially where piracy will be allowed to take place. And there is a handshake agreement on what is acceptable. So you can pirate a ship, you could take their cargo, preferably not all the cargo, but you could take some of the cargo. and then let them go. And that is generally not looked at beyond paperwork being filed. If you board the ship, kill a bunch of people, steal their ship, and take all their cargo, now it's a little bit more of a threat. And if you open fire on Imperial vessels, then that's certainly right out. You guys took it the one step further. You didn't just open fire on an Imperial asset. You opened fire with weapons of mass destruction on an Imperial asset. And so that really got their attention. And so, of course, one of the golden rules for all Lords of Theev, or anybody welcome on Theev if you're going to be a pirate, is you don't pirate within, 5 parsecs at, well, let's see, where's Theev? 1, 2, within like 3 parsecs of Theev. So Palindrome is right out. Vume is right out. Salif, questionable. About the closest that you could really start is at Noricum there on the beginning of the Dust Belt, heading.
But Murdoch
rimward.
is fair game then.
Oh yeah, Marduk is fair game, but
that's where we ream that cruiser.
But you still use the weapon of mass destruction. So I mean, so
a minor point.
I feel you on that, but I mean, really, our end result is not to really. I don't think that we really just want to pirate. I mean, there's money to be made in a little bit of cargo here and there, but the money to be made is getting a tax on all of the cargo coming through an area. And the way to do that is to provide a secure, safe passage for a nominal fee.
That's true.
And he completely agrees on that. He says that's where he says, and he goes, you guys have been kind of you've been using the stick rather than the carrot. And so the real money, if you want to make a steady income, is now that you have beaten a lot of these people into submission with the stick, is that you then go to them and say, hey, the piracy will stop and we'll offer you our protection. And then all you have to do is stop pirating.
Yes, exactly. We're on the same page, but they can't. People are not really apt to pay for safe passage unless the passage is dangerous.
Well, and
before you can say, hey, I need money, they've got to feel like, man, that's dangerous.
Well, and a lot of that is discussed at these yearly meetings with the other pirate lords. And they basically all get together and say, these are the planets that we are being paid protection by. Can you not hit them on these dates so that we can say that we're doing our job and collect our protection money? But then they'll open up other dates and say, well, that way they know that they need to keep paying protection. You know what I mean? There has to be some threat there. And so basically all the pirate lords get together and discuss this, and then they go out and hopefully they all agree on it. He does admit that the one loose cannon, of course, is Peter Valus, who seems to do whatever he wants. But generally that's not too much of a problem. And as he says, we don't have very many Aslan Herate convoys that are willing to pay protection. So that's really besides the point. And about that time, you hear a beep and basically the door chime, and he hits a button on the table, and the doors open, and the food comes in, and one of the waitresses comes over, and she hands him a tablet. And he looks at it and he says, "Oh, thank you." And as soon as the food is served, she leaves, and you guys are digging. And there's lobster, there's steaks, there's roast, there's all manner of food. And he shuts the door again, and he reads from the tablet. He says, "All right, so the repatriation broker has sent out notices to the families of the passengers and crew of the Princess of Tobiah. And he says that it could be 12 to 15 weeks before you hear anything. The broker will take a 15% fee of whatever the total sum is that comes back.
That sounds
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds more
Fine with that.
reasonable.
I mean, yeah, all we did was make them stay in their rooms. It's not like we really worked a whole lot. You know.
And he says the next broker that came out, they will charge a 15% fee, and they came back with your luxury goods and the lumber.
Oh, I see the pencil picking up. You're getting ready to write it down.
Yes.
Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about, Pawpaw.
So that means that you guys make a total on that of 212,500 credits. And he says, then last, we need to discuss what you want to do with the Princess of Tobiah. He says the problem is that it is very difficult to sell stolen ships legitimately. Of course, you could sell it to the coalesced shipyards here on Theev, which you probably know is a front for the shipyards on the Skull. You could sell it to them; they could part it out. But you're going to be you're no matter what you do with it, you're going to be taking a significant there's going to be a significant cut of that total cost.
What kind of price are we talking about just to ship it out for parts?
You are looking at you'll make 27.79 mega credits.
I'd say wrap that motherfucker up and send
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Send that baby to the park guard.
Yeah, send that bastard on. Write that down.
So 20,
Yeah.
27 million.
I mean, that what we rode across space for a little while and slapped some stewards around, you know.
Yeah,
I mean,
27,789,000 credits.
Okay, everybody take a mega credit.
all right, I'm gonna take a mega credit.
Yeah, twist everybody's arm.
Then the rest is shared for now, but feel free to ask for money if you somehow need more than that.
No, just be sure you set old King Olaf's shit aside real quick, you know?
Oh, yeah, you're going to want to take 10% for him.
Yeah,
Let's
okay.
see.
Yeah, I'll just throw that reminder out there before we fuck around. But yeah, that definitely.
So yeah,
puts some...
King Olaf would get 2.78 mega credits.
Okay, that's fine. We're still in great.
That puts us back in the good for all the money we invested in getting the Osiris and getting it up and running and all that. That really helped out.
So
absolutely.
So as you are eating dinner, there is more or less casual talk around the table of Darokyn too has heard about the professor, and he very charming, urbanely cultured. He starts to question the professor about what he's doing in the Reach. And the professor at first starts to get excited to actually be talked to about this, and then quickly shuts up and looks at Beth.
He's a bit shy. I had a few more questions about the job, though, also.
Okay.
So, do I need to, like, establish a crew here, or do I absorb some of the crew of people that were under the last
well,
board?
you already absorbed Farrick Redthane's fleet and crew, which kind of, Darokyn basically tells you that kind of pushed you over towards taking the empty seat from Redthane. But as far as if you want to set up some kind of shop here on Theev, that of course is entirely up to you.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if there's passive income associated with it or not.
No, you could certainly set up, some kind of pirate base, or even here in the upper city, a corporate front.
Is there any way that Captain Beth can use her newfound powers to basically call Drinax an off-limits pirate zone?
Yeah.
I mean, that's our shit there. I mean,
Yeah, you definitely could. In fact, okay. I mean, you could call Drinax and Borite, since you've got a secret base floating around a gas giant in Borite. Not that really anybody goes to Borite anyways. You might have a hard time talking the other pirate lords into leaving Tech World alone, because that is essentially a gateway to the Trojan Reach, and there's a lot of money that goes through there from the Imperium.
Yeah, they can fuck with Tech World. It's fine. I mean, the nerds there will vaporize them if it becomes too much of an issue, right?
True.
I assume.
So, yeah, because Tech World's getting a lot of materials coming in. I mean, we have been getting materials sent there, though, right? So, I mean, they should be building up.
Right, and you've got some of your ships are actually providing defense for Tech World. So, you can kind of work both sides here. You could essentially, you're getting paid what is essentially protection from Tech World by joining Drinax, and also you could take a percentage of whatever pirated profits come in from any other pirate crew that comes in and hits Tech World, since it pretty much belongs to you. So you get to double dip a little bit there.
25%.
Is Darokyn gonna let the professor topic drop, or is he gonna press on with it charmingly?
He more or less lets it drop. As you cut in and kind of tell him that the professor's feeling a little shy and whatnot, he kind of lets the matter drop. He knows the social graces of when somebody's supposed to keep their mouth shut.
Okay.
She probably slapped the table and goes, "Plap!" Like there was a fly there or something.
Throws a steak knife at him. You shut your mouth.
Can I use my garrote?
Yes. Well, I think you kind of probably want the professor alive, but I mean.
Well, I had to bring my brass knuckles and my garrote to dinner.
I mean, of course.
I guess we got this big payday. I mean, what do you think about donating the proceeds of the kidnapped Imperial people to this Lord dude, because he don't want us part of the thing. If we tied his hand, if we soil his hands in some of our piracy, he's kind of connected to us, and even if he is a deep spy, I mean, we've done the effect of putting him in the mix of doing the dirt shit. So,
well, it probably won't connect to Admiral Darokyn. I mean, that is another unsaid rule. Nothing that you do as pirates will lead back to Theev. I mean, you don't shit where you sleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I really want to get on a ship someday.
Well, then offer him these nobles. You know, say, hey, man, you know, it's going to be several weeks you're here. You know, we've already got the deal set up with the nobles and everything. You just collect that and keep it, you know, and maybe, you know, you'll at least get some he'll like you more.
Maybe.
So the one thing he does tell you is that the suite that you're staying in at the Grand Hotel, that is now yours. That belongs to you whenever you come to Theev. That's where you can stay. It will not be rented out to anybody else. That is your private room.
Nice.
Nice.
We should think of some businesses we might want to have here, and if we'd want them in the upper or lower part of the city.
Why not both?
Yeah, that's true. Could have our Sam's Club up top and our Walmart in the bottom.
Yes.
No. I don't know.
Oddly enough, the clientele looks exactly the same.
I mean, there's already clubs and bars and stuff.
Oh yeah, there are clubs and bars all over the place.
But a sports entertainment thing, you know, might be something right up our alley. You know, maybe not total WWE, but you know, if we just with some good storylines and a lot of drama, people will sure as fuck pay to come in and watch something. You know.
Yeah.
It'll be like the blood sports arena, but like fake.
Yes. So that way your favorite star, you know, doesn't die, you know, because they lost. Just be like, okay, well, you know, Timothy Timbone, you know, he got his ass kicked, but he's going to come back and I'm going to pay to go watch.
You could have G Racers from Yggdrasil, but it's going to be a 5-week delay.
Yeah.
So what kind of weapons can we buy here?
What kind of weapons? I mean, what can't you buy?
What tech level?
So Theev is really high. Theev is, yeah. Tech level 15, with law level 0.
So,
and you
since I have snub, since I have slug, everything's possible.
Yeah, basically everything is for sale here.
Up to including mag rail.
Yeah, this is the Nassau of the Trojan Reach of the Imperial area. So everything here is likely secondhand in one form or another. In other words, nobody that's selling stuff here came by it legitimately. But almost everything is for sale here.
If I buy a piloting program and installed it on the ship's computer, would that give the captain a +1 on piloting?
I was going to look for something to go in the wafer jack now that I have a bunch of money.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
I'll shut up then.
Yeah. They're thinking the same basic idea, though.
Yeah, I was like, God, we do need to pay and get the ship repaired.
So you wouldn't be able to buy a piloting wafer because it is not an intellect or education skill.
Damn it. Okay, never mind.
You got to have the Neuralink in order to do those.
Yeah, well, even then, you can only use an expert program for intellect or education. So, even with a Neuralink, you wouldn't be able to it's not going to do anything for a dexterity check. So, but the ship, let's see what kind of software it has.
Can I pay someone to beat me until I'm a better pilot?
Yes, ma'am.
So it has computer/35, so I don't see a reason why you couldn't install some expert programs on the ship. You could, I mean, you don't really have a problem with astrogation or jump drive, but you could install, you know, like weapons or where's my software? Computers and software. You could install stuff like, you could install Digital Friend. You could install expert packages if you wanted to, things like admin, advocate, astrogation, broker, multiple electronics, engineering, explosives, gambler. That way Ox could practice. That sort of stuff. You could also install, if you wanted to spend some money, you could install an intelligent interface. Where's the weapon stuff? Interesting. You can install a universal translator on the ship, which I think Ting already has. That's interesting. It's not...
There's nothing to do, nothing you can do about being a shitty pilot, I guess. Just have to keep rolling till I don't roll poorly anymore.
Huh. I'm looking at the new central supply catalog, and I'm not seeing it, but there is like fire control software. You can install fire control software that basically will allow you, so let's say that you install Fire Control 3. Fire Control 3 would either give one person a +3 to their gunner turret check, or it could actually fire up to 3 turrets automatically with the intelligence interface. So basically it's a minor AI that will fire the weapons automatically for you.
How much does it cost?
So intelligent interface is not expensive. You're talking about 100 credits. And let's see, you'd probably want that with Intellect 3. That's going to be another 200,000 credits.
Okie doke.
And then I need to find... Nope. Oh, wait, computer cores. I bet it's on computer cores. Install computer cores. So this has core 35.
Can we get augmentations here?
Yes. Yes, you can.
You know, for just 50,000, the TL12 skill augmentation, you can have your nervous system rewired to be a better pilot. It'll give you a +1.
Yeah.
For 50,000, you said?
Yeah, that's on 61 of the updated Central Supply catalog. Blah, blah. Skill augmentation. Says a pilot might have reflexes and senses of balance improved, for example, while a broker might be capable. This just basically gives you the skill augmentation rewires you to do a specific skill. It'll give you a +1.
So here it is. A virtual gunner package allows the ship's computer to replace a living gunnery crew in an efficient manner. The package can replace any number of gunners, although it requires +1 bandwidth for every 10 gunners are part of beyond the first 10. Weapons controlled by a virtual gunner have gunner level equal to the package's score, but they can take advantage of other modifiers such as advanced fire control on a military ship. One virtual gunner may replace the gunner crewing a turret, barbette, bay, or screen. So virtual gunner /2 would be 10 mega credits.
Oh, jeez.
But you could get virtual gunner 0 for 1 mega credit.
Okay, that sounds a little more reasonable. But yeah, what about having my nervous system reinstalled so I don't fuck up the ship anymore?
You could, and that'll give you a +1 to, so I'm sorry, what page was that on, Wes?
61.
Okay.
It's the skill augmentation.
Which book?
Central Supply Catalog Update 2023.
Okay, I happen to have that open.
So yeah, you could do that. And you would be looking at... I want to look at time. Well, I'll just roll for it. So you're looking at 2 weeks of recovery time in the hospital, doing literally nothing else, just laying in bed, getting better.
While you're at it, there's also the cockpit sensory suite on page 58. That'll give you another +1. And it's a little more expensive though.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, it's 500 grand.
Shit.
Well,
Well,
I mean,
To be hanging around. What do you think?
so this is
Well-
so cockpit sensory suite is really for high G maneuvers.
it says +1 to all pilot, drive, flyer, and seafarer checks made when
Made
traveling at
high speeds. So
Yeah.
it's made for fighter pilots, deep sea
Okay.
divers, things of that
So
nature.
that wouldn't help.
No.
then. All right.
I mean, not unless you're planning on taking the ships into atmospheric combat or even dogfighting, which the size of some of your ships, you probably want to avoid dogfighting, but
I feel you. Yeah, I was rolling through shit trying to figure out whatever the fuck I could find. I mean, if she's gonna get it and go down, you might as well do it all at the same time, right?
I think I will do that when I have a couple of weeks to recover, but
We can go to Tech World and probably get that done up real quick with their super fast healing shit.
that's what I was thinking too, is next time we swing by Tech World, I should get that done.
All right.
But
Yeah.
have
What's
to
the
deal with
downtime to get away for Jack?
I don't know.
It would be, it's per surgery. So you're looking at 1 week of time for a waferjack.
And like I can look after you though, because like my character is a pretty good physician. But if
And
I'm
we-
out of mission, nobody can
Yeah.
really.
Yeah,
And we've got a med bay.
Yeah, and you've got a med bay, so
Yeah, so go for it. Let me know if you need more ship fund.
shit, not just a medical bay. You got a med bay for up to 10 patients.
Heck yeah.
We could put us all in the hospital.
Yeah, you got a
Yeah.
minor hospital on your ship.
We do need to hire some crew members, I think.
That wouldn't be a bad idea. Typical crew: captain, 2 pilots, astrogator, 3 engineers, medic, steward, 6 gunners, and 12 marines. I don't know how much of that you want to hire. I mean, of course, the captain is already your medic. You might, and you've got a steward bot.
Right. I'm thinking more of a crew for when we take ships. We've got a crew to man that ship and take it.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, we would want, somebody to be in charge of that, an NPC for that. And
So
then
you're you're basically wanting general space hands. is what
Well,
you're really
you need a
looking.
pilot, an navigator, and a security person.
Right.
Yeah.
You gotta
Yeah.
want all, you want
They don't have.
jack of all trades. You're looking at, if you want to hire that, do some math here.
At least like what, 5 people, with general all-around skills, maybe. They really don't even have to know how to fight. Just man the ship and take it to wherever the fuck we want.
So if you're wanting, jack of all trades, a crew of 6 is going to run you 90,000 credits per month.
Dang.
Well,
I
I mean,
think-
the ship we just took and sold, though, really.
We're supposed to cut down on the taking the ship part, aren't we?
Oh, yeah, maybe so.
So, I don't know.
Did we agree to be? Did we agree to the Lord stuff?
Yeah, I think we did. I think she took the post.
Yeah, that's a good position to be in because people will be really scared to murder you. So, yeah. I would like to take that position and then cool off on the taken ships for a little while. Like, let's hire some crew before we plan to take something, and then we'll have them on hand, I think.
So yeah, 90,000 will put a crew on your payroll, and you can use them in the future. Right now, they would just be stationed on your ship.
I'm fine with that. I think that's a wise decision, just because we have such a big ass ship.
That's true. Yeah, if anybody is incapacitated, it'd be good to have somebody else to.
Does that mean we need at least one to have turret?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Do we need a guarantee at least one has turret?
Well, she did. If she bought the virtual gunner, then.
I'm not sure if I bought the virtual gunner. Wasn't that like 10 mega credits or something?
Virtual gunner /0 is 1 mega credit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can do that then. All right.
That'll just let all our guns fire automatically. I mean, so at least they shoot every round.
So the ship
right
down to 17.7 mega credit, which is, still quite a bit.
17 million, that's nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah. That's just
retire on that.
Let people know how much we're spending.
And so is Beth going under the knife for the virtual skill augmentation, or?
Not yet, because we need to get the fuck out of here. I don't want the professor to get kidnapped or murdered while I'm getting.
Good plan.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it, but not yet. When we have more time.
Okay. So we will pick up next week with you guys leaving Theev and doing any last minute stuff that you want to do before you leave the planet of pirates. And I assume your plan is to make haste to Drinax and see what's in this message orb.
You bet. Can't wait.
All right.
And we're cool to do some shopping and stuff and just let you know.
Let me know, and I will tell you if something is available. It's all for sale, but it doesn't necessarily mean that there's any here. So let me know what it is that you want to buy, and we'll do an availability check.
That sounds good to me. Thank you. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, make a list, you guys, and we'll pick that up next week, and we'll just go through and do availability.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'm really glad that taking that ship gave us a big fat payday.
Yeah, it did.
You know what I mean?
All right, I will see you guys next week at 7 o'clock on Wednesday night.
Okay.
All right.
Have a good night, guys.